I've been drawing for 5 beefy years, bro, and I'm decent-ish sometimes. Not really, but I thought I would have been like Leonardo DiCaprio by now, bro.
Who?
Just dropping heat every time I touch a pen. But sadly, that's not the case, and that's because I haven't really taken that next step for the entire period. I've been stuck doing the same stuff, just scared of really tackling more complex intermediary skills to really advance. So I'm just like analyzing the mindset that allowed me to be so hesitant in taking the next step. So hopefully upon like watching this video, if you notice any similarities in your thinking, you can realize that you're heading down a really horrible path that I did, and I don't want you to waste any amount of time like I did, because that's outrageous, that's atrocious. So get ready, lock in. So like what really is the next step? Is that a metaphor? Why am I going up the staircase? Where's the elevator? Which are good questions, probably not the last two, but the next step is basically just tackling that next obstacle on your journey towards your ultimate goal, right? And the obstacles are subjective. It might be facing anxiety and finally learning to drive, scarfing down 13 Big Macs this week instead of 14, or I don't know, in my case personally, trying to become an intermediate artist after 5 long years. So it depends, but what's the common denominator in all of them is gripping your nutsack and pulling down so your balls drop, and just gaining that courage to push past the insecurity, the self-doubt, and all of those negative emotions that hinders you from achieving your goals.
The thing is, why would someone hesitate to take the next step, especially if they are aware that that next step would move them closer towards their goal? Why did I wait 5 years, and why did I have to have a physical altercation with myself in order to stop myself from waiting much longer, right? It's because like the plan that I had, things weren't going according to things were going out of whack. It was going haywire, which happens in life. You know what I mean? So I felt like it wasn't the right time to take the next step, and I started to hesitate and second guess myself, right? Instead of like recognizing the reality of the situation and still pushing forward, I stopped. I slowed down because things weren't going exactly how I wanted it. It wasn't panning out in this idealistic way that I had in my plans. And I keep saying plans vaguely and not being I'm beating around the bush. I'm gonna be a bit more vulnerable. So when I first started, my idea was like, I love drawing, so I'm gonna draw and get better and post on Instagram, and hopefully in time I'll develop a community there, so that was the plan. But I had this entire time frame, let's say 5 months. I'd take 5 months to master anatomy. When I didn't master anatomy in 5 months, I was like, wait a minute, this can't be. You know what I mean? So it instead of going back to the drawing board and tweaking it, I was trying to perfect this idea of like, I have to do this my way or there's no other way. And I wasn't still trying to progress and step forward into my journey. It's kind of shameful thinking back at it, because a lot of the growth that didn't happen was I attributed to that, my lack of courage, and even now I'm shameful of my skill level in art after so long, because I think I should have been better. I think I should have pushed myself more. So I'm trying to tell my story and trying to help people know that it's time. You might not feel like it's time, but the type of people who are more strategic in thinking, are more calculated in their actions, they struggle with being impulsive, because they don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to take unnecessary risk. So they practice patience more than action, which is one of the reasons why I was patient for so long, and where I have to kind of swing the pendulum back the other way and accept that that's not good enough. And mistakes are really just part of the process. And to be very honest, I've made
a ton of mistakes, so much mistakes, so much. Some of those mistakes have been phenomenal for my growth. Now listen to this. A few months ago, I made a video and the idea was that I'd be drawing for 10,000 hours. I was gonna do it day 1, day 2, and just go forever until I get to 10,000 hours. Now, it's a good idea, but in execution, I'm in way over my head. It's very tedious, long, a lot more work, and it's hard to do. Now, after a mere 2 weeks, I stopped tallying how much hours I was practicing, which it defeats the entire purpose of the concept, which was tallying the amount of hours, right? So I technically failed there, but I kept on going. I kept on practicing because I had more motivation to hold myself accountable, because on that video I received a ton of overwhelmingly positive comments and interactions telling me to go for it, despite me being a lunatic and this idea being lunacy, right? So the video ended up being my best performing video so far. So it shows like how making a mistake and being courageous, it can benefit you, can be beneficial. So when I say like take that next step, it comes from a place of genuine belief in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all fun and good, but what if the thing that's stopping you from taking that next step is concrete? It isn't this insecurity, this existential BS that's in your mind. What if it's the free market capitalist system? What if that's holding you back and you're just broke? If you're broke, sell your blood or get a job. There is no workaround. Yeah, I feel you. I synthesize, I empathize, but you can do a little. When you're broke, you still have a little bit of resources at your disposal. It might not be monetary, but let's say your laptop crashes. You have a school library, bro. You have access to computers. It might not be your personal one, but you can do what you can with those. At my college that I'm at, I get access to loaned laptops at the beginning of the school year. Stuff might not be as effective and efficient, and those laptops suck, but it's better than nothing, and it shouldn't be used as an excuse to not push yourself and move forward towards your goal. And that's the entire point of all of this, you know what I mean? Is to not wait and waste time, because I did. And I'm basically trying to reach out to someone who was in my shoes probably 4 years ago who needs to hear this. So hopefully if you enjoyed this video, you can comment, because I read those. I do read those. I've been rambling for far too long. I post regularly, and peace.